All right, YouTube. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. This week, we're going to be talking to Anthony here, who's going to be answering some questions about fitness and the perspective of a relationship where he's not a bodybuilder. He works out here and there, right? Not as crazy as me. So we're going to ask him some questions in regards to how he feels about it, his misconceptions about bodybuilding, and things like that. First, tell the people, Anthony, who you are and what you do for work and what you do in regards to fitness in general.
Well, my name is Anthony. I'm 28 years old. Born and raised in Illinois. Stop saying
Yeah. I say a lot too. It's nature.
Grew up in Illinois. Went to college, did all that, became a plumber. I was a plumber in Illinois for 5 years.
With your fitness, what does that look like for you? Have you, after school, because he played sports in high school, in college for a little bit, he played football, so what does your fitness journey look like now, honestly? And it's okay, honestly.
After I quit playing football, I wanted nothing to do with fitness. It was mostly an excuse for me to not have to work out, I think.
Okay.
But in that probably year and a half after I quit playing football and not working out whatsoever, I gained about 50 pounds.
Want to put like what he used to look like somewhere on the screen?
Still a little chunky. But
okay, but nothing compared to like how much weight he gained beforehand.
When I quit playing football, I was like 195 pounds. I got up to 242 pounds, which I was a butterball.
He called himself that, I didn't.
And then one day I was like, holy crap, you need help.
So then he started working out.
And even at that point, I didn't know much about the healthy way to do it. I'd always, worked out, lifted weights, tried to stay in shape because of football, but didn't really understand the food aspect of it. So I went about working out, restricting my intake food-wise, and lost a good amount of weight, but it wasn't the healthy way. And then I started to, TikTok became a thing. I started to see more fitness pages and learning a little bit. And honestly, there's a lot I don't know, but I learned a lot more once we reconnected and started learning more about your fitness journey. Hi, Poppy. It was after sports, and then I go through phases where I'll be solid in the gym for 2-3 months, and then I'm like, yeah, I've had enough.
And now he works out, but it's not obviously I'm 7 days a week of some sort, whether that's walking, my cardio, working out, things like that. But he'll go to the gym with me when he's not working. Granted, he's on his feet 12 hours a day, so he's constantly having to move. So it's not like he's inactive, but he's not making the gym a priority. So that's something where I wanted to do this to show you guys how a relationship like that works, because I feel like people feel if you're a bodybuilder, you have to be with the bodybuilder, and I never thought that way, nor will I ever feel that way. I think it's good to have different hobbies and different ways of life, because it really shows different perspective for both sides to help each other out in different ways. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk with you guys and Anthony about this, different ways of living and what he feels and questions like that. So that's a little bit of Anthony's life, okay, and where he is with his fitness journey. He's going crazy. I wrote everything down because I'm terrible at memorizing anything. Anthony's actually good at that. Fun fact, I'm not. So, here's the first question. And Anthony doesn't know what these are because he wanted to go in blindly. They're not bad, I promise. What is it like being with somebody who's so dedicated to fitness and a pro bodybuilder?
I'd say it's a few different things. It's very interesting. It's eye-opening. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I know there's a lot of people out there that do what you do and didn't know anything about it until we got together. But I think I just commend you on your ability to turn it on and off. Not that you, from prep to off season, you're obviously very strict still, but just when it's time to go, it's time to go. You know?
Yeah.
It's very inspiring, I would say.
How do you think me being a pro bodybuilder or just somebody in the gym all the time and a trainer, right? So like I live and breathe fitness, which obviously Anthony hasn't been with somebody who's like this, so it's very my work is the gym, my life is the gym, I live in the gym, it's my business, right?
Affected me in the way of not gaining a lot of weight.
Okay.
Because I mean, when I was still living in Illinois, like I said, I go through phases where I'll go to the gym for a few months and then I stop. But even when I would stop, like I would try to meal prep, and I don't work out consistently here living in Vegas, even being with a pro bodybuilder. But I eat what I want for the most part, but it's helped me like keep in the back of my head, like, hey, you should probably care more about your health and what you're eating. And don't get me wrong, I love pizza and wings and all that stuff, and I eat my fair share, but it's helped me keep that in the back of my mind to maybe try to dial it back at some points. And
just live a healthier lifestyle.
Healthier, yeah.
Healthier. I swear too, like being with him, vice versa, has helped me be more free with my meals and my food in my off season. So usually the last 3 years I'm on my food at all times. Nothing's stopping me. My off season I still am on it 100%, and that made me feel burnt out. So being able to be with somebody who's not in my world or not into fitness as much has helped me live my life more and enjoy it more. We've been on so many trips this year. We've traveled the world, and I haven't worried about food as much as I have in the past. And I think that's just because my ultimate goal for bodybuilding was to become a pro. And after that, I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do. So once I got there, I knew I wanted to live my life a little bit more and enjoy that, but with the right person. And I didn't feel that until me and Anthony got together. So once we started, traveling as much as we did, because we've traveled so much in the past year, it's been ridiculous. It's helped me just be more free with my food, and vice versa for him. It helps him also stay on track, quote unquote, right, a little bit more. So that's, I think, the good part about being in a relationship where both of you are different in that sense, because it helps.
I think it gives each of us a really good balance. Like I said, I love eating bad food, but it's always in the back of my head, you do what you do consistently, like I can be better and, not always make the wrong food decision, even though it tastes so good. And it's a good balance. Like for you, it makes you think the other way,
Yeah. I'm going to take you through some true or false questions.
Okay.
And it has to be, so it means if you felt this was true or false before you started dating me.
Okay.
As bodybuilders, okay? Did you think bodybuilding was just lifting heavy circles? True or false?
False.
What did you feel, or what did you think then bodybuilding was?
I've seen some Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler.
Okay.
And Rich Piana. I know I had an idea. I think I'm pretty smart. I knew that nutrition was a big part of it, but I didn't really think that nutrition was just as important, if not more important than just the actual lifting itself.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 2. Did you think bodybuilders just ate the same things every single day?
Yes. True.
So that's a true, you felt that way?
Yeah.
And you still feel that way?
No, I mean, I'm sure there's obviously a lot that do eat the same thing every single day because they know it works and they probably enjoy it to whatever extent that they can or have to. But at least being around you and seeing the way you do your lifestyle and competition clients and the way Justin does with you, it's actually probably, I think, a little important to switch things up here and there.
Yeah. For
you as a person and for the journey itself.
Yeah, because some people like the same things every day, and I've been eating chicken at least once a day for the last 4 years. So that you get used to, but for lifestyle clients, I always tell Anthony, and he sees what I tell them, you have to switch things up to truthfully enjoy what you're doing and enjoy the process of the journey. Because eating the same thing every day, let's be real, is not fun. Nobody likes it. Unless, like, in prep, I enjoy eating the same thing every day, but you get into that routine, and the bodybuilders are psychopaths. Like, we do our own thing, so it's different. Do you think True or false? Did you feel all bodybuilders were mean or douchebags?
100%.
Do you
100%.
still believe that?
No.
Well, because I'm a bodybuilder. And I
Well,
know.
yeah, and I've met some of like the people that you know in the bodybuilding community, and every one of them that I met is super. I mean, I know people.
They come off douchey though. Like I come off. We were talking about this the other day. I look mean in the gym.
Yeah.
But when you talk to me, I am so nice.
And I feel like in a way, with bodybuilding in general, not that you have to be, but it just happens with the process.
Yeah.
Like you look like.
You just hate your life. You look
yeah,
like.
you look like you don't want to talk to anybody. You don't like anybody.
Yeah, I still understand that to this day because I feel like I can be very mean. Farrah said it in my last YouTube video that I looked scary and intimidating, so she didn't talk to me. And then when she talked to me, she's like, "Oh, she's so nice." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not how it is." Do you feel all women weren't as feminine as they should be in bodybuilding? Like, did you automatically feel like they were huge and looking like men?
Yeah.
Okay.
100.
You didn't know there were different categories.
I had no idea.
So that's a true statement.
True statement.
Okay.
I had no idea whatsoever. I didn't even know for men that there were different categories. I didn't know anything about bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
Never looked into it. Just saw videos here and there. But especially for women, I didn't know that there were different categories. I thought every woman that was a bodybuilder was just jacked and could seriously hurt me. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where not a lot of people know that there's so many other categories in bodybuilding for men and women, and every person likes a different physique and look that they have for themselves. So to each their own, but it's so interesting to see how many different categories there truly are and what people look for and what the judges look for, and there's more than just literally a bodybuilder, like, you know, bikini, wellness, figure, classic, men's physique. Those are all bodybuilders, but they're not just the word bodybuilding. So that's not a lot of people know that.
And it was actually interesting. Like I was very interested to learn. Like the first show that I went to for you in Tennessee, I wanted to learn like about the different categories and what was looked for in each different category.
And he had to sit, how long was that? Actually, it was quick. He got lucky. The first show he ever went to for me was, I went first for finals, which usually bikini is last, and it takes hours to get there. I was very shocked that we went first. But he got very lucky, because usually we're out of there by 10 or 11 at night when I'm competing. We were out of there by, 5:30? I got to get some barbecue and just live life, and then we got to drive. And we went to Nashville literally that same night. So you got lucky on that second show.
Yeah, that was long.
Anthony was falling asleep until I got on stage because I was at the end. That's where Justin and everybody was there. That was a long day for all of us. I hated being back there and just sitting there and waiting. That was long. But true or false? Did you always feel like bodybuilders were always on point year round? Like all they lived and breathed was bodybuilding and they couldn't mess up. They had to eat how they had to eat. Like, did you feel like that was just a lifestyle year-round for them, 24/7?
I don't know if I ever really thought about it, but I would probably have assumed so.
Okay, so true.
True, yeah.
Yeah. And seeing now, how do you feel about seeing, like, how I do things as a bodybuilder, I would say?
I mean, it's more on your stuff and doing everything to a T than living life normal, I would say, because yeah, I think I definitely see now that there's more freedom in a way when you're when you're in your off season. Obviously you still have to do things the right way, or you don't show up to the show probably the way you should. I don't know.
Oh look, he's learning. He knows. He knows.
Yeah, I definitely see now that there's more to it than just eating chicken, rice, vegetables, all your vitamins, all that stuff every day, 365 days a year.
Yeah, that's something too people don't understand is in prep, you can't miss a beat. You literally cannot mess up. And I can proudly say the last 5 shows, my first 2 were terrible in the sense of staying on track how I should. My last 5 shows, I have not missed a beat. All my cardio, all my workouts, all my meals, all my water, all my steps, my sleep, like everything has been to a T, and that's why every year I've evolved with my growth especially because, yes, I'm not perfect in my off season. We all know this. I've said it a million times. But I really still make sure I'm training heavy. I'm eating as much as I can protein-wise. If I'm not eating on plan for a day, I still make sure I'm hitting my protein, or at least trying to hit my protein that day. Like, there's little things in the off-season that matter when you're in prep. Because I always say in prep, you're not getting ready for the show. You were getting ready for the show in your off-season. Yeah, in prep, you're already where you need to be. You just got to lean out now. There's no muscle mass gain as much as you would think, and, little things like that.
Even in prep, like I moved out here,
I was 4 weeks out.
Yeah, you were 4 weeks out, but even still, like before I moved out, and you training clients on top of you preparing for your shows and trying to go pro and all that, just seeing you wake up at 4 a.m. to go train 2 clients, and then doing your fasted, and then eating, and then going to the gym, and then going to do more clients, all of that, especially at the end of prep when everything is so restricted, and I can only imagine how...
And breathing was hard.
I can only imagine how tiring it all was for you to just know that you had to do that to get where you wanted to be. Like it was crazy to see, because me, nope, I would never even attempt.
He was so supportive too, and that's something as well where being in a relationship where somebody's not into bodybuilding and I am, it was nice to have support from him in a way that I don't think a bodybuilding like boyfriend or somebody would have. Because I always say, if you're both bodybuilders and you're competing, it is very hard to be in a relationship like that. I've seen it firsthand. I'm around it a lot. You're both in prep, you're both eating nothing, you're low, like it's just bad on both ends, right? Not saying it's always like that, because people make it work. Yeah. I could never choose that lifestyle with somebody, because I like having somebody who's not in the same world as me to help me stay level-headed in different ways, So you were very supportive.
That's why I choose not to be a bodybuilder.
Okay. Yeah, that's why. That's why. But it definitely does help having somebody not in a bodybuilding show with you, or a prep, or an off-season, because it gives you just a little bit more calmness. I can't explain it, but I do appreciate it a lot.
I
appreciate you.
I'm here for you.
Okay, here's our next topic. It's going to be balancing just fitness and then our relationship together. So, how do we navigate time together? And I'll go first with this one. So, how we navigate time is actually, it works out perfectly because I make my own schedule. So, it makes it work where I'm usually training clients early morning. I take care of the puppies, I take care of the cats throughout the day, I do my workout, I do content, I talk to my clients, and then usually when Anthony gets home is when we'll be able to spend a couple hours together at night. I do have some clients I talk to throughout the night, which he's a, not a soldier, but
trooper.
He's a trooper because he listens to all my client calls if we're going to do something together or go to the grocery store that night or something. I'm usually calling people and I feel bad, but he knows it's my job, so I truly appreciate it for that, because my schedule is not a 9 to 5 like his. I mean, his is a 7 to 3, but it's the same concept. So
even then, sometimes I work 7 to 7.
Yeah, it all depends. So he's all over too, but
unpredictable.
Yeah. So with time together, we do make it important and apparent to spend time with each other. I think it's nice because a lot of our friends are in different states as well, so it really does help that we have the time to be able to focus on us when we have it. But pretty much navigating time together, we just make it a priority to put each other first, but understand that we have other things that we need to get done as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I mean, I think you said everything that I probably would say. I think, like you said, me being there for you and understanding and like listening to your client calls or being around for your client calls when you have to have them, like it's your job. That's you have to do that. But on the other end, for me, like what if I'm working 7 to noon, 7 to 3, 7 to 7, like it's, just see you when you get home and we'll spend as much time as we can together. And if I get off work and I have a job to do after work, like a side job or whatever, it's just nothing but support from you and for me, for both ways.
Yeah, because even like Friday was a perfect example. He didn't have to go into work, so we were able to get up, feed the dogs, have a chill morning, went to the gym together, and then yesterday we ran errands together on Saturday. So it's nice when we have that time and he doesn't have to go in, because I usually have early morning clients where he could still sleep or whatever it may look like. So having that time is rare for us because we're constantly going and traveling. Traveling has been another thing where we're always moving, so we don't get time together. We have to see everybody else, right? So making sure we go on dates or go to see a movie or not go out to eat anymore because I'm on a cut, but whatever, like little things like that.
Or just sit on the couch with the animals and watch a movie or a show.
That's our favorite thing to do, is just sit on the couch and watch Reacher. We've been watching Reacher, which is fire. We're on season 3 right. But doing things like that for us is just as much quality time as going out to do something. So best advice I would say to anybody in a relationship with both ends like we are, just make sure you have time for each other and you're making sure to put each other first while still doing what you have to do to get done.
But also be understanding when time literally can't be made, when there's commitments or requirements. You know, like you doing your tanning for the bodybuilding shows on the weekends. You know, it's getting into that season and you're going to be more weekends than not for a period of time where we won't have time on the weekends. So that's where time during the week will be more important. But also understanding that that's another job that you have and you have to do it. And, you know, it's not like we won't get time together before or after that.
Yeah.
You know?
Good one. How do you feel like, this is a good one, how do you feel fitness strengthens our relationship?
I think, I've never really thought about that.
Right? That's a good question.
That's a good one. Give me some.
Right? ChatGPT. We've been loving ChatGPT. We ask her, I'm going to call her. We ask her, the baddie, everything.
I think you being so heavily involved in fitness and me not really caring about fitness, not that I don't care, but it's not my everyday life. I don't do it for work. I don't do it for...
It's not number one.
Yeah, it's not number one. I think it helped me understand, or helps me understand, like how hard you work. And it helped, honestly think you being so fitness oriented helped me be more understanding and supportive, because I quickly learned that is what you do pretty much 24/7, and there's no way around. I wouldn't change it, but it's helped me. I have no patience in life whatsoever for anything, but it's also helped me, I think, have patience in a weird way. I don't really know how, but like when you have to go work out, you have to.
Yeah.
You know, like
there's no like I can do it later. I have to do it now.
Yeah, you know, like I've never really thought about that.
Yeah. I'm going to add on to that.
Okay.
I feel like it strengthened our relationship separately in good ways for Anthony, I would say, in the way of recognizing how to live a healthier lifestyle and not go out all the time. I think is a great one for you. Like, it strengthened the way he views, you know, you can still go out and have fun and be healthy and not drink 5 days a week or whatever it was back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, and there's no shame in it, because I used to do it too. Like, I was out partying in college and living life, but once I got into fitness, it truly helped me be like, wow, I need to take care of my health, and drinking that much like I did isn't healthy in the long run. So I feel like that helped you a lot and strengthened the views of, you still like to have a good time and go out, but you don't need to be doing it 4 or 5 times a week and trying to live that kind of lifestyle, because you felt like crap. Like, you weren't sleeping, you weren't drinking enough water, and now that you do, you realized, wow, I feel so much better. You know what I'm saying? So 100%. I think that strengthened you, which strengthened us in the way of, wow, I'm seeing him try to be better for himself, and I love that, and you're seeing me try to be better for myself with fitness, and it bonds us too in a good way, you know?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I would say that's one.
Yeah.
How do you, which this doesn't even go to him, because I was great on prep with Anthony. I was not a crabby butt at all, but how do you handle me being in prep with my diet restrictions and mood swings? Talk about how, like, we did dates and stuff, I would say, too, and how did you handle me being hungry and tired and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I was not really hard to handle. People always say they have nightmares with their spouse or their
significant other.
Thank you, significant other, but I'm a very chill vibe when I'm in prep. I mean, I'm tired and lethargic, and dead, but I've learned to not take my anger out on other people. So I feel like I'm good in that aspect. But go ahead.
What was your question again?
Like, what did we do? How did you handle me being in prep? What kind of dates did we end up focusing on? Or, like when I went to visit you in Chicago before we moved out here, I had to work out. Like, how did you handle all that kind of stuff?
I didn't know I knew the extent. Like, I knew how serious it was, the bodybuilding world, and how serious you were about it. But I still didn't really understand, like, you had to do those things at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was trying to learn as we went, and I just wanted to be as supportive as I could, whether it was trying to help you make your meals so you didn't have to, because I could tell that every day your energy was just lower, whether it was filling your water jug for you, trying to help you make your meals.
He went and got groceries for me a couple times before I went to visit him.
Yeah.
Like little things like that he was good with.
And just being open to doing anything or doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like
there were a couple times when I went to visit him and I was deep in a prep and I couldn't eat, obviously, right? We would still go bowling. We went to the mini golfing. I feel like we went to see a movie, maybe.
Went to the Shed Aquarium.
Like, there's things we did that didn't involve food that he understood. Like, he still ate, obviously, and I just had my meal prep, but he understood that I didn't want to have dates revolved around food because, I can't eat, so I'm going to hate my life, honestly, if I'm around it 24/7. Yeah, so it's nice to do things without
and
food.
It got me to do other things that I probably wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Like on my own or with friends or what,
yeah. It was different.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah. And yeah, he didn't have to worry about my attitude. I had no attitude.
No, she was very good.
I was good.
She was very good.
I was mean to my parents, but they get that taken out on them. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Love you. Brittany, I was good with too. She don't live here, so she's fine. How do you feel people reacted to our dynamic of being together? Because two very opposite worlds colliding.
I don't really care how people reacted.
Okay.
But
that's not my question.
How do I think people reacted?
Yes. I feel everybody was very supportive.
Yeah.
To be honest. They were probably like, whoa, like, how are you going to make this work, I feel like, for a second? Because we're very different, but there was no negative.
Not that I saw, heard, or noticed or anything like that. I'm sure people were like, dang, he's with a bodybuilder?
Well, there are some people that, like, from your side that were like, she's going to beat you up, or be careful, she's huge. Yeah. Like, whoa, Skye, like, she looks crazy. And then they see me in my off season, they're probably like, oh, she ain't nothing. And
that's like a lot of, like, my friends and family, or just people in general, I feel, unless they're around you or the bodybuilding world that don't know much about it or the extent or what goes into it. Like when you would come to visit and you'd bring all your food and people would be like, oh, I wish I could do that, or how do you do that?
I hear that every time, folks.
People just don't know.
Yeah.
And people were very supportive, but it was also probably like, holy cow.
Like, Anthony's with somebody that's dedicated? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there was no negative side of anything with our dynamic. I think it was just, like he said, a lot of questions. And I still get questions from, like, my family and people that I barely see because they ask me the same thing. How do you do it? And I get annoyed with it, but I get it because people don't live a lifestyle like this. And when you don't understand. So it was no negative connotation with it. I think it was very supportive and we want to be there for you guys, which we appreciated. So there was no bad energy, just the same questions I get for the same thing about eating every time. How do we deal with comments about our appearance, our lifestyle, etc.? And I would say this more goes to me because I have different seasons of the way I look, so I'm always being asked about my appearance and things like that. It's gotten better, I think, because people know I'm just going to give them the same answer. But I would say relationship-wise, we've only had one hate comment toward Anthony about him not working out ever, and how can I be with somebody like that? That was one time out of the year and a half I've almost been, or a year and a couple months I've been posting him, I would say. So we haven't really had any problems with that, right? I feel like. with any of that.
No, and I just think it's funny.
Yeah, he laughs, which I appreciate because
funny.
people get butthurt too easily. But Anthony, I'll send it to him and he'll start cracking up. But people say crap about me still, and I really don't care. I've come to that point where I'm living my life happily with my relationship and my family and my work ethic. I appreciate for myself, and if someone's got something to say about it, they can say something about it.
Yeah, and I think anybody that has anything negative to say for whatever reason, or any sort of comments, you know, whether it's about you, if it's about you, they could most likely never do what you or other bodybuilders do.
Yeah.
And sure, have at it. That's your life. Say what you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me. I think I don't take things too serious, and I think everything is funny, especially when people are just upset for no reason.
And that's something why we work so well too, is that we don't take life seriously and we don't get butthurt over things ever.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're very good at just like, I really could give a crap about it. So that works for us. Last but not least, to end this YouTube video, I always want to say series, but it's not a series. What is one piece of advice you would give the people that are in a relationship like ours, with our dynamic, with the working out aspect and then you not working out as much type of like vibe?
I would say just being as understanding and supportive as you can be. You know, obviously there's times where, you know, we're trying, you know, going somewhere, trying to do something, and you have to make calls, or we can't go yet because you have to make meal plans, or, you know, switch somebody's workouts, or, you know, something's not working for somebody last minute, you know, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure, like, at times, I'm sure I've gotten frustrated, or I'm sure other people do get frustrated, like with our dynamic. Mm-hmm. But like I said earlier, like, this is what you do.
Yeah.
Just being understanding and being supportive, and just allowing you to be able to do what you have to do without making you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, like, what the heck, why, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Just being as supportive and understanding as possible with what you do, because you give that back to me for what I do, you know, which is completely different.
Yeah. And I would say that's my best piece of advice too, is knowing that your partner doesn't have to do everything you do. He does not have to be a bodybuilder. He does not have to eat 5 meals a day like I do. He does not have to do cardio, post-cardio, all the fun stuff. He just has to support you in the ways that you should be supporting him. And that's how a dynamic will work, whether they're super into fitness or not. You just have to be a partnership with each other. And I think that's important throughout something like this. When you have someone really into fitness and someone that's not, you shouldn't be discouraging them, telling them they shouldn't go to the gym, or I don't want you there, or, you know, things like that, because that's going to make you, first off, resent each other, but also you're not going to build a strong foundation hating what each other do. So I would just say, like he said, supporting each other and building each other up.
Yeah.
That's it for our YouTube video for today, right, Poppy? Thank you guys for being here, and any questions you have, drop below so we can hear. If you guys want me to answer anything or Anthony to answer anything, I'll have him in more videos now.
Call me.
Call us, but make sure to like and subscribe down below, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.